Niagara Center. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a rundown of what's going to transpire here this morning. We'll hear from the 4 people up here at the dais, and then we'll have a Q&A afterwards. We do have microphones. If you could please just wait until we get the microphone to you so that everybody can hear the question that's being asked. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to the Buffalo Sabres owner, Terry Pegula.
I am here to announce that last night I relieved Darcy Regier of his duties as the Buffalo Sabres general manager and Ron Ralston as our head coach. I would like to thank Darcy for his 17 or so odd years of dedicated service to the Sabres. His work and commitment were beyond. I've done a lot of work with him in the last couple of years since I bought the team, and Darcy was a dedicated Sabre employee. I have a lot of respect for Darcy Regier, and I even have more respect for him after I talked to him last night. Rod Ralston, also a lot of respect for Ron. He's a very, very good man, and I also feel the same way about Ron after talking to him last night. As you all know, we didn't exactly put Ron in the best of situations after he came in as our head coach with some of the moves we've made and the direction we've been taking the franchise. But I wish both of those gentlemen the best. Today I want to announce the creation of a new title in the Sabres organization, President of Hockey Operations, and that a fellow named Pat LaFontaine, who you may know, will fill that role. And I would also like to announce that Ted Nolan will be our interim head coach effective today. I only met Ted last night, but I've met Mr. LaFontaine a few times over the last couple of years, and over the last week had a lot of discussions with him, and he is a class individual, and he's going to add a lot of energy to our organization. As I have stated in the past, my goals for this organization have not changed. We all know what they are. Pat said to me something interesting last week. He said, "You know, Terry, I've never won the Stanley Cup, but I can't think of a better place to become a champion than with the Buffalo Sabres." So with that, I would like to turn it over to Pat.
Turn it over to me.
Or to Ted, I'm sorry.
We're not done with you yet, Terry. 2 years, 8 months, and 22 days. That's how long Terry Pegula and Kim Pegula have owned the Buffalo Sabres. And if you look around this arena, you look around at the people, and you don't need to do anything but crane your necks and turn around behind you at the building that's coming up out of the ground. There's been a lot of changes, a lot of positive changes made by the Pegulas, and I want to thank you, Terry, for that, and I'm sure everyone here thanks you for that. But as we would remind you, and you would remind us, that isn't the accomplishment we want to put on our headstones when we're all done. We're about winning, creating a winning franchise, and today we take a huge step forward in that effort. Today we go forward as a unified organization with ownership, management, coaching, players, everyone here, all of our fans. We're one team, and we're all going to be pulling in one direction. And today we welcome 2 new teammates to our lineup with Ted Nolan and Pat LaFontaine. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce Pat, and his accomplishments can easily be summarized. Hall of Famer. Pat has been very active in the community and in charities. I can tell you Pat is a better person than he ever was a hockey player. And Pat comes to us most immediately from the National Hockey League, where he was quickly establishing himself as one of Bill Daley's most trusted senior executives. And we're very fortunate that the timing was right to bring Pat back where he belongs with the Buffalo Sabres. So friends and fans, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Mr. Patrick Michael LaFontaine.
Thank you. Thanks, Ted. It's interesting how things come full circle. I just have to correct Terry on one thing. I think it was 16 years ago. I kind of like that number. I'm extremely proud to be here today to represent, as President of Hockey Operations, the Buffalo Sabres. I know this town, I know the city. It's one of the hardest working, most passionate city and fans. I can promise you the hard work and passion that's here, I'll give that same effort in my new job and make sure from the top to bottom we have that same feeling. I have to thank the Pegula family, especially Terry and Kim, for this great privilege to lead this organization in the hockey department. And let me tell you something, they're among the finest owners in all of sports. We are so lucky here in Buffalo to have these types of owners who not only care about this organization, but care about this community and care about the fans. I can attest to that. I'd like to thank Ted Black. I'm looking forward to the hockey operations working hand in hand with the business department. I look forward to working with you, Ted. Thank you. I'd like to also say that Seymour Knox and Nordy Knox, the great Knox family who brought the team here, the word saber comes back from a weapon that was given to a leader to pass on. I feel very privileged and lucky that the Pegulas have passed that on to me, and I'll share that with the rest of the team. I'm looking forward to building the hockey department. I'm looking forward to be a part of this community for a long time, and most importantly, like Terry said, our job is to be top to bottom to bring a championship caliber team here season after season. Now, we need the patience and the hard work and the support of the fans because we are in this for the long run, and there is a system that's set up right now, but there's a lot of ways to build a team. I'd also like to congratulate Ted Nolan, who I'm going to introduce here in a second. I would also like to wish Darcy Regier and Ron Walston all the best and thank them for their contributions. And obviously, they're a part of the Sabres family. There's one thing Mr. Pegula and Kim did right away was they wanted everybody to feel a part of this, and they brought back all the alumni. And that's something that doesn't happen very often. I would like to say that in the interim, I'll be working closely with Kevin Devine. Obviously, he's our assistant general manager, so anything that comes up, we'll be working together on. Going forward, I'll be looking for the next general manager. I have a little bit of a list, a shorter list, and I can't tell you who they are right now, but I'll be actively searching for the next general manager. I also want to thank the National Hockey League, in particular Bill Daley, for bringing me on board as Vice President of Hockey Development Community Affairs 2 months ago, and obviously Gary Bettman for their understanding in all of this and support to move here to the Buffalo and obviously be the President of Hockey Operations. With all that said, my family's excited. I couldn't be more excited. I couldn't be more proud to help lead this organization where I think we're going to be for a long time. And I'd like to say there's nobody I know better who can work in a locker room and bring a group of players together, and I've seen it firsthand, than Ted Nolan. And I'm proud to say that he's come in as as a very qualified man who's done a lot of great things in this game, especially with younger players. And I'm proud to say he's going to finish out the year with us as our next head coach. And with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Teddy. Welcome aboard.
Well, I don't know where to begin. I guess there's not enough words inside me to express how excited I really am. First of all, I'd just like to thank the Pegula family, Terry and Kim, for bestowing such a honor for me to come back to the city that I may have left physically, but emotionally and spiritually, I never really left. It was a big part of my life, a big part about who I am, working here with the Buffalo Sabres back when I did. So it's great to be back. I want to thank Pat LaFontaine for feeling the way he does feel about my coaching ability, that hopefully I could bring some credibility back into this organization. I'm really looking forward to it. But in the meantime, when Patty called me a few days ago, the one thing I had to do immediately was contact the group that I was working for. I was a head coach of the Latvian national men's hockey team, which is one of the Sabres had a chance to coach last year at the World Championships in Gergensen. He was a fine young man, and he's going to be a great player. So I had to call them. I really want to thank the Latvian Hockey Federation for giving me a great opportunity to coach over there for last year. So we qualified for the Olympic Games this year, so we'll both be. And Patty mentioned that I would be able to continue my duty there with the Olympic team. So I'm looking forward to that. So all is good, but it's been a while since I was here, and there's a lot of things that has been transpiring in my life, and a lot of people who were there, and I was doing other things. I worked up in Quebec Major Junior League with the Moncton Wildcats, and Mr. Robert Irving gave me a great opportunity to coach up there, and I coached some of the younger players that are stars and pretty well close to stars in the National Hockey League, and Brad Marchand and Keith Yandel and a few others. Andrew McDonald plays in the Islanders, so to go there and to work with him. And I wear these beads today also. I really want to, as Pat has, I also have a charity with the Tim Hortons Children's Foundation. I really want to thank them for their help last 5 years that we had a partnership with our foundations and giving some kids an opportunity. But all in all, all the time I was away, there wasn't one moment that I'd ever thought about having another chance to coach in the National Hockey League. And if I had a perfect crystal ball in front of me to pick one place that I'd like to do it again, and this is certainly the place I'd like to do it, and especially with the people. And talking to Mr. Pegula last night, when he said something about it's the people, it really is the people. And I'm going to go in with all guns blazing here and get to know this team as fast as I can and try to change the culture, because I think that's one of the most important things with the winning team. I'm not going to come and say we have to do this, we have to do that, we have to do that, because that's what we get paid to do. And I think we just got to make sure we have the right people to do that. And I'm looking forward to meeting some of the players. The assistant coaches will stay on board, so we'll have a chance to meet with them. But I'd be remiss if I didn't. I get emotional sometimes. I don't want to get too emotional, but when you go through some very difficult times, it's the people that are close to you that maintain it. And my family's sitting right there. My wife Sandra, my son Jordan played against us last night, so thank God I don't have to coach against him for the rest of the year. So, and my son Brandon are with us here today. So, there were some times that I thought maybe I wouldn't get that chance again, but my wife Sandra kept saying you would. So today's a very special day, and I'm just really, really thankful for this opportunity. And as I've always done, I'm going to give it everything I have. And I just really want to thank